Well, I was kind of surprised. I mean, I'm just walking down the street. I'm just going to Lexus Neon with a friend or whatever. So, two guys come up to me and you're like, "Hey, do you want to do an interview with Jean Beliveau?" I was like, "Great, wow, super. That's really cool." So, for Canada 125, I'm really glad to do that also because I mean, it's Canada. I'm a Canadian and I'm happy to be one. So. Basically, I was really excited, came down to the forum, and now I'm here in the Canadiens' locker room, just looking around. I was kind of stunned. I've never been here before, but friends have been here. So, standing here a little awestruck with Mr. Beliveau standing right behind me here after 18 years in the NHL. So, I mean, pretty happy to be here. When you came up to the NHL, or to play professional hockey, what was your first reaction when the Canadiens asked you to come up?
Well, it's a long story. You got to go back to early 50s. I decided after a year in the Quebec Junior League to finish my time as a junior to Quebec City. I went to Quebec and played for the Quebec Citadels. And I could have joined Canadian. I believe, my last year as a junior. For 2 or 3 years, I refused. I used to come to training camp of the Canadian, and finally, in 1953, it was my dream to play for Canadian. Since I was a young boy, I suppose when you're when you're 10, 12 years old, you dream that you're going to make your life in the professional sport. Yeah. And here in Quebec, we all dream to play for Canadian, and I suppose in Ontario that you dream to play for the Leafs. Oh. So finally signed my first contract in 1953.
And I understand that you've been here since then.
Yes, I remember I signed my first contract was a 5-year contract. Was supposed to be a fabulous contract. Nothing in relation to today. Numbers are far from being the same, but for the time was a good contract. I remember very clearly, I said, I hope I'll play 5, and if I'm lucky, no injuries, and my performance, according to what they expect, I might be good for another 5. I said, 10 years, I'll be happy. Now, I'm going to start my 40th years next month. In September '92, I'm going to start my 40th year with the organization. I'm a very lucky man. I spent my life in sport with a great organization.
Yeah. When you played for the Canadiens, did you realize that you were playing with such greats as like Maurice Richard and players like that? Did you realize that they would be, and that you would one time be like a Hall of Famer, and that you would have such a great career and be like as famous and have like all the fun that you did have in your hockey career?
Well, first of all, I used to sit right here, and Maurice was right over there. Maurice and I used to sit right here. The goalie sat there, the defenseman over there, and the rest of the group, wingman and forward, all over. Well, you always dream to. First of all, I was so happy to join the Canadian. So many things that they're going to be able to make a career, and the percentage is very, very low who makes it. I never thought I would stay that long. I finally end up playing 18 years. Yeah. And one of my greatest joy is not only all those Stanley Cups, but I was elected captain in 1961. So the last 10 years of my career with the Canadian, I was their captain. And we had a great bunch of a fellow. And it's probably one of the main reasons why we had so much success. Here in this room, we had a great family atmosphere among the players. When somebody was going through a difficult time, we would all rally around him. If it was on the ice and sometimes personal problem, the players would be there to help, because we knew that if he was performing according to what that players was able to produce, indirectly it will benefit all of us. So I've always thought that this was one of the amongst other things, but one of the main reasons. But I played with Henry Richard, Doug Harvey, and my last year was Kenny Dryden in the net.
Yeah.
But through the years, we had great hockey players performing for this organization.